So in this video, I will talk regarding CodeCrafter's platform and how I started implementing my own shell on this platform. So as you can see, if you do not aware, CodeCrafters is basically a platform where developers can build software, like rebuild already existing software. So for example, we have shell, we can actually pick some language to implement, for example, Zeek or Rust or Go or Java or whatever they support, and then build entire like functionality, not entirely, but some of the functionality of the shell, or build interpreter. As you can see, I completed 66 stages out of 84. You can also build your own Redis even, or HTTP server, BitTorrent. So all of these like that. So some of them are paid. I mean, most of them are paid. It means that you should go and buy the subscription, but you can opt in using these free during beta challenges that are basically free during some time. Yeah, so you can start building, for example, Kafka right now, and after some time some other challenge will be unblocked as free, like it will be like free during this week, so you can jump between them and completely for free build your own project. So this is really helpful. As a developer, we should, I think that the most valuable thing you can do is building your real applications, not gaining certificates, not running through tutorials, not building a hello world applications, which are also like valuable skills to do, but most of the time on the job we do not deal with hello worlds. We deal with real big application. We face challenges, we face tech debt on it, and and yeah, I think that by building some of the applications, you can identify those problems early so that you will not make them when you do real coding for the job. So, and then so yeah, like couple of days ago, I started to building my own shell. I picked Kotlin for it because I would like to like really deepen my understanding in Kotlin and Spring, because this is like my main stack for development. Kotlin backend developer I am. And what else? Yeah, I know that Kotlin and JVM are not really great choice for developing infrastructure tools like shell or interpreter, and that is because entire JVM ecosystem, entire libraries, they focus on more runtime based, like some of the so the point is that not so Java was developing in the trend that everything is runtime. In runtime, there is garbage collector, there is some kind of reflection-based APIs. A lot of frameworks are based on reflection, but for things like a shell, it is not suitable because the startup time is really big. So JVM startup time is really big in comparison with Rust or Go or Zeek or whichever compiled to native language. Of course, we all have already Graal VM, which kind of makes possible to compile Java or Kotlin to native, but with some of the limitations. All right, but nevertheless, I picked Kotlin for it, and what I did right now is just I already have this POM XML in which I just declare some of the dependencies for Kotlin for JUnit, as you can see. So this is like the POM XML, and we have parent here, Spring Boot starter parent. This is like recommended way of starting building your Spring Boot application is to include this parent POM. Okay. And also I have some of the properties just to, unify, like this is like variables. You could treat them as variables that are reusable across this files. For example, we have Kotlin version, and it means that if we go here, somewhere here, we will see that this variable is used as in some of the ways, so that you will not repeat yourself, so that you centralize your variable declaration, and then if you want to switch to another, like upgrade the Kotlin version, you will upgrade it in one place and not in all of the places where you declare the versions of the Kotlin and Kotlin specific things like yeah. So that's it. Also, we have dependency management block, in which we just, this is dependency management block, as I understand it is for declaring the versions of the dependencies. For example, we have dependency JUnit bomb, and we specify this version, and we specify this only once. This version is specified only once, and if you go to some of the dependencies block here, you will not even needed to specify versions of the dependency of JUnit specific dependencies. So this is really cool, because once you, like, if you in the future you will upgrade or bump these versions, you will be like, you will change here some of the version, and then that's it. Also for Spring Boot, also the Spring Boot related dependencies also get only exact versions. So this is the unification of version. So I have also some kind of plugins for Kotlin, all open here dependency for the, which stands for like all of the classes should be open for extension. That is because Spring assumes that we have classes that are open and able to be inherited from. This is for proxying, basically, to create a proxy, as I understand. So yeah, some kind of plugins here and there, some for reporting. So basically this is for when I run the, for example, end-to-end tests, it will show me the coverage of test of my code. Also, yeah, and some dependencies. So I have Kotlin, I have JUnit, Mockk. This is alternative of Mockito in Java. So if you want to use mocking library, mocking capabilities, you will opt for Mockk in Kotlin environments rather than Mockito, because Mockk is like Kotlin, how to call that, Kotlin compatible. Let's say it that way. Also, I have a consist here dependencies. This is consist. This is for architecture as a code. So I can dictate using tests. So I can write some unit tests, and it will scan my entire repository, like entire Kotlin files. And then the point is that I can, in runtime, check, for example, if I use inheritance, for example, in some places, and if I do, then prohibit it, for example. So this is like for dictation of architecture within the project. So as you can know, as you might know, that architecture, for example, in some projects, I saw that people, architects and project leads, they declare architectures as a Confluence files, as a documentation file. So this is like written in plain text, and this is really hard to manage, hard to develop and upgrade. So the best way you can imagine is to encode your architecture using tests. So, and the point of consist to do exactly that. And in Java world, if you come from Java world, there is an alternative to consist, which is arc unit. So this is also these tools are like the same goal, but different APIs, of course, and being consist is for Kotlin. So that's it. And also I have JetBrains Kotlin Reflect, which I do not really aware of for what purpose, probably for Spring, but I declared it. And some of the testing, some of the, yeah, so I have also Spring Boot Starter. We do not have here web, Spring Boot Starter web, no because this is like a CLI application, and web capabilities are simply do not need it. So that's it. So this beautiful pom.xml file is already crafted, and I aware that Gradle is much more simple, and not simple but developer friendly, because we do not need to write this whole XML file. But CodeCrafter's platform right now supports only Maven. That's why I opt for Maven right now. So that's it. 10 minutes video, and in next video I will briefly overview the project structure. Not briefly, but we will go probably in depth how I implement things. Thanks for watching, and watch my next video, please. Thanks. Bye.